Hello, everyone. This is Thomas Pepin, NHL Talk. I'm Thomas Pepin, and let's play some NHL. Continuing the franchise mode series where I've taken over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're on season 18, episode 7. It says off-season 1. We already started the off-season, but anyways, I decided I'm going to start changing the titles because coming up with unique titles for every single stream is just a bit much. So I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to label it exactly as it is, or the points record or something along those lines. So anyways, so yeah, we're in the off season. We've done our biggest moves. We've completed our highest priorities. So like signing extensions for our major players. Trading for replacements for guys that are asking for too much. And offering contracts to them. We still have like our depth stuff to do. We have 41 and 50 contracts, so there's not too many that I can get. I already had, so to save or to make it where you don't have to sit through all the, well, because already you sit through some tedious work like negotiating trades, which takes a long time. I don't want to add more to it. So I did our scouting for free agent signings, like our depth guys, AHL guys. I did that off stream for half of the players, or half of the player types, I guess you could say. And then there's another half I have to do. So that I'm hoping I'll have time to do tonight. Well, I'll have to make time or I'll have to do it on stream. One of the two. But anyways, so yeah, I did that last night. How many players did I? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which leaves us with 3 spots, which is not ideal. But we're probably trading guys anyway, so that's a bit misleading. One thing, what does it say? So we have 31 in cap. So essentially, it's going to be impossible for me to try to sign any of the big name free agents. It's possible that in the mix of all the contracts, we actually do have space to sign a depth guy. It could be like a 4 million player. It could be 8 million. I have no idea. It's too difficult to see exactly how much spending you have and how much space you have. And then also, I don't know exactly how the game treats future years because it'll reject a contract if you don't have enough space the following year, but we don't know what that cap is. So does it base it on the current year and applies the exact same? Does it apply some sort of increase with like a common inflation rate, or who knows? So there's a lot of different things that I just don't have the information, and also the way it presents it, it's not easy to determine exactly how much space you have. Now I could actually go and count all the salaries, which I've done previously when I was tight to the cap, but I'm just not going to bother. So we traded away a guy to give us an extra 5 some odd million in cap space. If we want to get him, we can always go back and get him. But just for the hassles of doing all this math, and then even with that, it feels like the game might not treat it perfectly accurate. So anyways, long story short, uh, we can't go after free agents until we have everybody signed and we know exactly how much cap space that takes up. And so, for example, with these guys, actually, I guess for all of them, if we have any difficulties with negotiating contracts, then that's going to extend the amount of time that it takes to sign the contracts, which then means we miss out on more players. So there's basically just no chance we can sign good free agents unless they're kicking around for a long time and we have the space. Um, so that's kind of the situation. Um, where to go from here? So I think so. First, what I should do is trade away our underperforming players, which will clear up space to sign the players I've targeted uh, off stream. And then uh, yeah, we'll sign those. Well, offer for those guys, and I think that's gonna be it. So the other half of the people I need to scout still are all under one way or are all asking for one way contracts. So as we would have seen previously, they don't. So I won't sign them to one way contracts, and there's at least a decent potential that some number of them will eventually be willing to accept a two-way contract. So basically, right away, I can't sign them anyways. So there's no, uh, it doesn't need to be done right now. And yeah, hence why I'll be able to do it off stream after this stream. So, um, anyways, yeah, so we'll start with trading. There's a couple other odds and ends. So, for example, extending one of our goalies is something we have to do. But again, we don't know our cap space, so we can't quite do that yet. And that's a priority over getting a free agent because we want to have the players that we have um, for as long as possible because of course I've chosen the best players or the optimal best value players, however you want to put it. Um, so that's going to be a priority. So then that makes it even less likely that we'll be able to get a free agent, any good free agents. But thankfully, we're in a position where we don't really need them because of a stellar pickup and development of Demers, I think is his name. Anyways, so let's take a look at our underperforming players and we'll get rid of all those guys. This guy I keep wanting to trade him, but all things considered, he's actually a high performer for the AHL. That is fantastic numbers. I mean, not perfect, but pretty darn good. And actually, come to think of it, so there's guys that I opted not to add to my list. What's this guy's story, anyways? Oh, I don't. Yeah, he wasn't one of the guys that I scouted. So, um, yeah, because I was just gonna say he doesn't have all the characteristics I was looking for. So, like, strength is too low. Balance would be okay if strength was above 80, or vice versa. Um, so it's more, I guess, lucky that he performed well. 8 points in 16 games. That's enough of a sample size to know that he is not going to fit. Doesn't matter if you're playing on the fourth line. My expectations are the same for everybody. As crazy as it sounds, I want everybody at like a point per game. And if you're not making your way up to the top of the lines, then that's too bad for you. He's close. That 72 is just a bit too low. If it was like 77 or better, I'd be okay. Like his puck skills are great. He's 26, so he's past the best development years, so I don't think we're going to keep him. Goulet. 5 and 16 is the no. See, strength and agility are... Everything's kind of right on target. Puck skills should be above 80. And the performance hasn't been good enough, so he can go 2. This guy was good for a stretch, but I thought he decreased in performance. 50 and 63 is not bad. And generally speaking, he's pretty darn close to what we're looking for. He's 28. Now he's at an exact. So he could be gone, but we'll look at everybody else. So this guy meets all of our criteria. Strength is above 80. Balance is a bit low, but that's okay because strength is above 80. And then puck skills, shooting, all 80s. Offensive awareness, 80. So yeah, he didn't play, so we don't actually know. He had nothing in 6 games. He's one of those bubble guys. We'll give him... He's 25. We'll give him a chance. 15 and 16 is a yes. He's one of the guys that we scouted and picked up late. See, this guy's got everything. Like literally everything we're looking for. Not literally. Almost everything. Offensive awareness is a smidge low. He needs to be 80 there. But everything else is good. So, Andy was a point per game. So he's good. Linson was one of our perfect pickups. 10 and 16. See, he's got everything, again, except for the balance. So we'll keep him, but he's 27. And he's at exact, so he's not going to change. I think once you're at exact, you don't change. I don't know that for sure, but... Or at least you don't change as dramatically. Like, you can't move up like you otherwise would. Yeah, from the performance, we can't do it. That's 32. It's a smidge low. Everything's otherwise great. But he's 33. So this guy's good. We're not going to get rid of him. So the reason why I'm still checking is because hmm. Sorry, yeah, it's because, so I was thinking about getting rid of that guy, but if everybody else is not as good, then he's good enough. So let's just see if anybody else wants any of the other guys. No, it looks like. Where do we want to send them? Let's just choose Seattle. Or E5th, maybe? Sweet. So he won't extend with us. Archibald, what's your story? Yeah, he was the guy that had everything we're looking for. Didn't play the best, but since he has exactly what we're looking for, we'll still keep him. And I think that's it. We have Vernarski. I keep wanting to say Vernaski. So what we'll do is package him with a pick to move up. Who are we going to choose? Let's choose Washington. To a third. It's doable. Pretty certain a fourth is going to go through. Cool. I think that's everybody we need to get rid of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4D. So we need to get a bunch of guys still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 forwards. So yeah, pretty much half of our AHL team we still need to get. So there's nothing going on for goalies, I didn't think. Cool. Whoops. So we'll go and sign all the players that I scouted. So there's Jalmerson at 20 years old, 71 overall. Jalmerson, 71. Let's just double check. So him, he doesn't have all the characteristics, but they're close, and he's 20, so he can actually develop into it. That's kind of the idea behind this. So this is where, like, I'm incrementally, I think, improving my strategy when it comes to scouting free agents. Um, this is an example of, I mean, it's still trial and error. I don't actually know if this would work, but um, yeah, it's yeah, something I'm trying. Then we have 21 Boolis. 72 overall. I think that's him. And so you see, this guy's got most of some of the stuff, but not everything, and some stuff isn't as good. So, for example, puck skill, shooting, not that great, but he's 21, so he's got room for improvement. But at the very least, he has the skating down. Um, so he's got a decent shot at working out. That's 2, so I can now erase those. Next we have high-end potential guys. So this is basically just trade material. So he's probably going to have some decent trade value because he's elite. Um, we're not keeping him though. And then there's this guy. Him, we're going to just sign him and see what happens because he's 21, 62 overall. It's a bit low, even though he's 21, but starter potential, medium. We'll see. So that's another 2 done. Erase those. And there was 2 more that I scouted. So they are Art Meyer at 76. So again, he's close on everything. Actually, come to think of it, I don't know if I should go for him. Well, I mean, he's not bad, and then if he doesn't work out, we just trade him anyway. So we need to have people fill out the roster no matter what. Sweet, he'll do 3 years apparently. And then LaBelle 75. Oh, we passed him already. So same sort of story, not ideal, but it could work out. Cool, so that is... Well, actually, it's not telling us because it includes guys on our own team. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus a goalie 6. So that puts us to 41 contracts, leaving us 9 more to eventually do. So we might do those after the development in the off season, which happens, I think, when it switches over to the new season. And then likewise the one-way contracts that turn to two-way contracts. So that's that. Um, I'm just thinking about what else. So I might actually have to do it on stream, the scouting of the one-way contract guys, because now I'm done everything to start simming forward, and I need to be monitoring that as we go. Um, well, in any case, I need to make sure I did everything, so I'll just take a look. Trading block. Done. Budgets. Done. Scouts. Done. Coaches. Whoops, I'm in the wrong screen. Well, it says 4, so I'm pretty sure I did it. Scouts, coaches. Extend players, not quite done. So that's done, that's done. Bachman, well, we're not going to extend him. That's pretty certain. But I also don't think we're going to get rid of him because of his cap hit. He's actually playable. And we control his rights in the off season, so we can just trade him then. Archibald, we're not extending. Are we extending? No, he wants one way. We're not going to trade him though, because again, well, we control his rights after. And on that note, actually, some of these guys with the characteristics that we want, so I think he's an example. Yeah. He's also 23, so that's where some of the guys that we just offered contracts to, they weren't ideal, and they were older. So, yeah, and having looked at everybody, we pretty much have the best free agents from last year and this year so far, not including the guys that want one ways and will go to a two-way. So that's main roster. All the guys we picked up, we offered. Goalies, he's extended already. Whoops. And we need to extend Gosselin. I'm going to write myself a note so I don't forget. Cool. So mostly done there, but like I said, with the goalie, we need to figure out what our cap situation is before we can offer him. And we're not in any rush for that anyways. Boop, boop. Extensions are done. We traded for everybody we're going to trade for. I don't think we have anybody remaining that we were going to get rid of. Oh, maybe we do actually. No, we picked up Bure. I'm pretty certain was what we did. Yeah. So nobody else to pick up. So that's it. I guess we sim forward. Since that's what we're supposed to do, might as well do this scouting now then. So this takes time, but I kind of have a feeling it won't be too long. Also, it's not bad for you to see the process of me scouting because maybe it could help you scout for your own team in your own way. You can at least like modify your strategy based on what you see from me. Okay, so we want one way only. But it won't let us. They really need to allow you to sort by one way too. So the problem is you'll have to do it by overall, basically, and you know that 70 something, 78-ish, and below could potentially be two-way. So right now I'm just scanning salary expected. What's this guy's story? Playmaker. Huh. 80 overall. He's unowned. So do we? Yeah, we can't do one-way contracts. The problem is, so if we do one-way contracts, I think even if you bury it, it counts against your NHL one. I don't know the exact rules of it. So, um, yeah, I think it depends actually the impact on the NHL cap because like if there's some contracts where if you're in the NHL you make a certain amount, if you're in the AHL you make it like a different amount, and I don't know if the cap hit remains based on what you would be making in the NHL or if it's like some ratio of it. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, and again I mean it's not, that's too much in the weeds in my opinion. And then with that guy at the very least, we'll be monitoring because, like as we've always done, keeping an eye on if there's any 80 overalls that are interested in two ways, which at this point it pretty much never happens, but we'll notice do it by doing it that way. This guy is actually dead on, but he's very far away on salary. We'll still write him down. Wise men 79. I guess maybe there's another way I could do this that I was just thinking of, but I think this way's more efficient, actually. Maybe. And I forget what two-way contracts need to, like the maximum for those. So I'm pretty certain that Wiseman's going to be too high no matter what, but this Tarasov guy, for example, might work. Not quite there. 26, he was a first rounder. So I'll add him to the list just in case. Tarasov 79. Marshall 79. Lock 79. Like, look at this. Some of these guys want 6.9 million. 3.7. No chance. I'm not sure how you pronounce your name, Hampe or Hamp. Thanks for the comment. Thanks for the positive, positive comment. I hope so. I mean, I don't know of anybody else that does franchise mode that actually does better, that streams at least. So, I mean, the one thing is I know one of my problems is I'm not overly entertaining. I treat this as if I'm actually managing the franchise. So, I mean, that's a negative. I don't have like explosive graphics and whatever stuff going on, but I don't know. I think from doing things right, eventually people will pay attention, and because people want to succeed at this stuff, why else would you be playing the game? So anyways, so thank you for the feedback. I hope everything eventually picks up, but yeah, we'll see. So this is another guy we'll make note of. Bo Fay 78. I can't believe that's a one-way contract, because otherwise he would have shown up when I did my scouting before. So it must be a low-cost one-way contract. Where was I? Man, he looks good. A bit low on the skating, so balance and strength, but everything else is good, and his track record's good, and he doesn't want much. Because there's some defensemen at 78 that are asking for crazy 3 point whatever, 7 point something. Balichevich, maybe is how it's pronounced. 78. This one's probably high. Andy's 34, so I'm not going to bother. Who is this? 36. No. Grinder probably not, but yeah. 35. No. Yeah, this guy's dead on. He would be great if he will go for a two-way, and I very much doubt it because he's a defenseman, and at 78 now they tend not to, but still. 78. This guy's perfect. Boy, Chuck, 78. Again, like in this case, his age is high, but his stats are well, his ratings are perfect. I'll still take a look, even though. Oh, he's actually not bad. What's his penalty minutes usually like? Not bad either. For a grinder, oh, but he's under. So he's RFA with somebody, so that's pretty much not going to happen. Oh, on that note, maybe some of the guys I was looking at. No, okay, good. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to if there were RFA guys, so the team's interested. If it shows one at this point, then that means they're RFA. So, like, I mean, they're not a free agent. They're tied to a team still. Where was I? Did I go too far? Boychuk, there he is. Okay. No, not quite. No. Yes. Rhinus 78. Oh, so yeah, I kind of alluded to this already. So this is basically what I mean by scouting. So you go through everybody, you take a look at their ratings, and I've mentioned my criteria before, but just as a reminder, and using this guy as an example, so he's allowed to have one of either balance or strength as below 80, but the other one has to be 80 or above. And then typically, what I would want is puck skills and shooting to both be 80s or above. Power doesn't matter for the shooting, but accuracy does. And then that's basically it. So if they have all those, then they're good. And ideally, they'd be 25 or under, but 26. And then the other guys, if they have all those things perfect, then whatever, it's okay. Just potentially take them anyways, because they'll be better than other people you get in free agency. So Cole, based on that, is on the list. Arcobello, I think that's one of the guys we had. Yeah, because he didn't want two-way. I know he did really well, but I don't know. I think what we'll do is just leave him for now. The other thing So the new other scouting thing that I have done before, but actually when I last owned the game, so NHL 14 is the last time I owned this game, uh, I would take a look at the AHL point leaders and then trade for them. So that's something I just did recently. So I think we'll just do that instead of targeting him at this point. Because if he has a bad season, then yeah, we we would rather not have him at that point anyways. So um, mm, if they're in their 30s and stuff, I'm not looking at them. They have to at least be in their 20s. This guy maybe. Puck skills aren't that great. How'd he do? 45. Nah, not quite there. So this guy's pretty much dead on. Perez Hogan 77. Is this one of the guys we had? No. Uh, he's got almost everything. Puck skills aren't quite there, but they're pretty darn close. But he's 28, and it says exact, so yeah, never mind. Doubt it, yeah. Again, puck skills aren't the best. Close enough. Fotinos 77. I think his salary expectation is too high for it to come down. Taken off. Nope. So I think unlikely we'll be able to get this guy, but still, we'll put him downhill at 77. Twenty-eight's too old. He would have to be perfect. Close enough. Endurance, I'm okay with that being a bit low because you're on the fourth line. You're not playing enough anyways. Puck skill's a bit low too, but he was a first rounder, so maybe it's misleading. Con Lee 77. .9 I don't think is gonna go. $900,000 down to, I think it's 1.075 or something like that. I just don't see it happening, so I won't bother writing them down. No. Wow, he looks good. MEURS 77. I just realized now I should have also been writing down what position they are, or sorting them by position. I haven't been, so it's going to make things harder later, but too late now. This guy's good. Let's say 77. And the list is long already. So I don't know if I should go through all the 76s as well. Maybe, because at this point I doubt they'd be asking for one way if they're not asking for like 1.3 or something like that. So a million plus. So I'll just look at anything that's a million plus. And take a look at them. It's 24. He would be good. Valet 76. '29's too old. No. 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 There's too many columns to pay attention to at the same time. He's close. 23. Yeah, close enough. His name is Hybert 76. He's perfect, nearly. Korostin 76. At 22 in a first rounder before. I'll definitely add him. Downey 76. Close enough. Sam Wilson 76. How am I supposed to... I'm writing all these guys down, but I'm just thinking now, how am I supposed to monitor all of them? Too late now. God, that is true. How am I supposed to monitor all these? It would be nice if they had tools to help you do this more efficiently, more easily. Isn't this a guy we had? Yeah. So no, we're not going for you again. Oops. 26, nah. Okay, so that's it for scouting. So I don't know how long that actually took, but that's how long it takes. Technically, I could go down to 75, but I'm not going to bother. So, because if, well, there is again, that easy way is you just take a look at contracts that are 1.3, so, and there should be way fewer for 75. Ronaldo, 75. Volk, 75. Oops. Henrique, 75. No. Yes. Galway 75. No. No. Sparks 75. No. No. It's not bad, but he's 25. To be at 75 is a bit low. Same there. Okay, so I won't do 74, that's for sure. All right, so that's our scouting. The unfortunate thing is if those guys develop, their overalls could change. So what I was going to say is that theoretically this list could be um, used throughout the season if they're still available in free agency. But yeah, if they change their overall by the time we look at them, then of course that it's going to make it difficult to find them. Okay, so that is all I can do until I know how our contract negotiations go. So that's what I guess we'll do. So yeah, we're just waiting for responses from all of our offers and all that stuff. Okay, then accept an offer from another team then. Sweet, so that's the one scout we needed, so that's all sorted. AHL assistant coach. I can't remember. Oh, we signed him for 8 years, so then he is something that we wanted. I can't remember what that was, though. So we got one of our guys we wanted. No from him. No from him. That's one of the, so that's a goalie one, a high value one, high value forward. We'll save that. So now we got to go find our last coach, because that means we only got one. So he was a goalie coach. So he's going to be the, what is he going to be? How long do we have him? 7. So theoretically we could move him up to here, because he's done in 3. And then him up to NHL. Or once this guy, because I think he's also 3, we could put him to goalie coach here. So anyways, he's a good pickup. So now we have an associate AHL coach to find. Scouts are full, as you can see. So our backup plan was a generalist just as a fill-in. We're not going to promote that guy we just got, because when you're trying to hire somebody, it's easier to hire them the higher role you give them. And yeah, if the guy was willing to accept assistant coach, then it's fine to keep him there. So now, what do we do? So this guy's, I always forget to check. So 760 is the salary we're going to offer. Wrong one. Isn't he a guy who feels like we tried him already? Did we try him? I don't know. Okay, so guys within range. We can try him. Unlikely, but you never know. So he's probably for sure going to Calgary. No. So that's 4 we've offered. I don't know if I should offer more. Go further down the list. Nah, we'll do those and see what happens. I don't think any of them are going to sign. But I don't want to go down to the next tier quite yet. And I don't want to offer to good guys and a lesser group of guys and then get the lesser guy when I could have gotten the higher guy. So, yeah. And it's just a 1 year fill-in anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so theoretically, 3 days forward, we would look at if anybody moved to two-way. But we have a super long list, so I don't think I'm going to go. Oh, maybe. Actually, you know what? I'm going to remove this guy from the list. So he was on the list, but I don't think he's quite what we want. So because he's 29 and the fact that his puck skills aren't the best, I'm just going to take him off. But I guess an easy way we can see it is just skim through the 2 ways because there's going to be less 2 ways than 1 ways, I guess. Probably. 78's Berglund is not on the list, and Plekhanov is not on the list. 77's. Savage. No. Conley. No. I think he was on the list, and then I removed him. 76. I'm kind of skimming through them based on memory and trying to remember. See if I remember the name, then they might be on the list. Uh, And I wish there was a way that we could select the guys and add them to a list. Like they should add that feature. So if you have them saved to your list, you can monitor their salary and stuff as things change. But clearly, the developers don't care in so many regards, but whatever. It's funny because like they'll make changes to the game, and I don't know how often, but quite frequently, um, they're negative. Oh, that's maybe the way I can be looking is just take a look at salary expected. Because if it's got some weird number, then that means that they were something different. That's probably the easiest way. But anyways, yeah, anytime they make changes to the game, it almost always seems to be worse. There's some stuff that like they'll make minor changes that are good, and then other ones that are bad, and they never tend to keep the good things and get rid of the bad things or improve the bad things. Anyways, one more day. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, so that's one of our recent acquisitions. He rejected our offer. So we'll go back and offer again. So it was point 0.85 is what we were doing. So we'll do that leaps up by 8, 6, 6 again, 5. Well, wait, actually, you know what? I was planning on getting this guy for like 8 years. But I don't know how he's going to develop anyways. He's a 79. It's probably smarter to only do 4 years. Let's just do that. So 2.85 times point. We'll do 875. 2.85 times 0.875 is 249. 2.5. Yeah, I'm glad that I thought about that because why would I for 79? Well, that's kind of what we saw with Barkowski, which is a guy that we got rid of. We signed it, we locked him up long term, and he had elite potential, which is kind of crazy. And he had an off season and went down to 79 from 81, I think it was. Okay, so that's all from that day. So it was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. Sweet. So Threlfall, I think we extended 8 years. I can't remember for how much. So we locked up this guy. I think I can't remember exactly how expensive he was, but I think it was reasonable. Okay, so that's one of the guys we traded for. We're going to have to go reattempt. Taves. Odd that he's offering reasonable contracts for just 1 year extension, but I'm glad he took it. And that's another guy we got, and he's saying no. So that's odd. I don't know why. Because maybe what it is because we chose guys that we traded for that needed to be signed, so RFAs. Maybe because we recognize that they were good value contracts, maybe they don't have as much wiggle room. So that 0.85 might not work. I just tried 0.875. And if that doesn't work, then that means it might need to be even higher. But we'll still do the 875 with these guys. It's going to be here. Okay, so Leighton 6. So 0.875 times 12.25. 12.25 times 875 is 1072. I don't know if I want to do that last year for this one. 12.3. I think we'll skip that last year. Because the leap, I mean, it wasn't crazy high. It was 625,000, but then that makes him where he's almost 11 million. I'd rather stay under 11, or at least ballpark that. So 12.3 times 875 is 1076. 10775. So yeah, main roster is all sorted out. So Threlfall was 11.95, which is actually quite good. I couldn't remember what it was. And Taves, believe it or not, took a decrease to his salary. Well, I guess he was hurt, and technically he did on a points per game basis worse. So whatever, but I'll take it. And those were the only extensions there. So we'll see how these other ones go through. The problem is now that extends even longer for us to not be able to consider signing other free agents, which is annoying and kind of handcuffs us, but there's nothing we can do about that. Whoops. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the next day we'll go and take a look again at the two-way contract things. Yeah, and I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Fine. I think it's either we have one coach we're waiting on or we have none left. I can't remember. None left. Okay. All right, so then we'll have to broaden our choices. So coaching influence isn't the most critical, but teaching is pretty important. So we'll prioritize that. We can't get him. I don't know why we can't get him. just offer him exactly what he's asking for in less years. B minus. Not quite good enough. Did we already try this guy? Oh, but it's a C minus. Never mind. C minus. Defenseman coach. I don't know if I like that idea. I do think we need a generalist. C minus? C's not the worst. I don't know if I should go for this guy or wait for the other guy. Yeah, let's just go for it. Get it done. C minus I think is too low. C's BB. Huh, this guy would be okay. Okay, well those are decent ones. I mean, there's some better than others, but whatever, we'll take what we get. That's that. And we're supposed to take a look at the two ways. We want that. No. Falk? I thought it rang a bell. Hey. So my strategy does work. So just take a look at salary expected. If it's higher than the 800 whatever, then that means that they're a new addition to the group. So we will offer to him 3. I don't know if he'll take it. So like the salary might have went down because he wants one way, but he's willing to accept less. So that's where I don't know, but we'll try anyways. Anybody else? 900 Law. 985 Parks. No for him. Vanek, no. No. Waters, no. Cully, yes. Huh, so this strategy does kind of work. Surprised. Sweet, so that's 2 of them. Whoops. One. Good for you. 2. I think he's one of the ones that we didn't necessarily want. Well, that's good news then. He rejected, so then 0.9 it is. So it was 2.8. So he actually decreased his expectations because it was 2.85. Now it's 2.825. I mean, he didn't decrease it by much, but in any case, he did. We'll try 0.9. So that is 255. 55. That's good news. And I think this guy was not as good of an option. So I think we got one of the better options. I'll go take a look. Coaching staff. So he was a generalist. Actually, yeah, so we turned out getting, I think, the best of all the options on like our third tier kind of level, which is not ideal, but quite good, all things considered. Sweet. And our chemistry for both teams are improved over last season, which is also good news. Now we're due to take a look at the two ways again. We'll go by overall. Butseyev. I feel like he was on the list. He was. So he's going to have to be 1 year. The other thing, because we're starting to get tight to space, because we were debating on certain guys if we were going to trade them. If we start running out of space, then we can just trade guys that I was debating on. We'll just go ahead and get rid of them. Korpikari. Myers, no. Vanek? Nope. Parks. Okay, so that's that. Now, the other thing that sucks is we're also potentially signing guys that are lower on overall because they're the first ones that become available as two-way. But, well, some of those guys may never come to two-way. So that's one argument against what I'm about to say, but we could wait for the better ones and then have better ones. But anyways, that's where it's the balance where we might trade guys that we currently have in order to clear space to get those guys. What were we at? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're at the beginning again. So every 3 days it seems like players sign contracts. So that's how often to check for the two-way thing. So 1. That's good news. Collie and Volk I can erase. So hopefully the 0.9 offer is going to be enough. Otherwise we might have to go even higher for those guys. Four. That goes up by 6. But I'm still okay with that. 2175. 12175 times 0.9 is 10,957. 10.957. So we'll try that. Five, 7. What did we just... Oh, well then this guy would be the exact same. 10,975. See, and the fact that we have to wait even more, again, we're missing out on free agents. So that sucks. 1, 2, 3, I think we're on. Okay, so 0.9 worked for him. So it seems as though, fingers crossed, it will for the other two guys. So that's where this 0.85 might not be correct anymore. But it was for the guys that we already had. So I don't know. It's going to be somewhere between 0.85 and 0.9. Yeah, so we'll see. 1, 2, 3 are we at? Yes, we are. So let's go take a look at the two ways again. Anisimov. Okay, that's it. Seiya is off the list. 2, 3. Sweet. So I think 0.9. Yeah, it worked for both. Okay, so now we actually know our cap space, and we could theoretically sign guys that are still available, but I have a feeling that our options are going to be limited. So it says we have, oh, but glad I remembered this. So I need to extend my one goalie there. He was in Maine. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 8. So do we want a $2 million elite goalie for long term, or a one something million dollar goalie for 6-ish years? That's tough, that's tough, that's tough. Well, we know we have 10 million in cap space. We also know that the cap's going to keep increasing. So if we know that we have most of our most important guys locked up long term. So if we sign this guy, that means we basically have because this will be an extra 2 million, so we'll have like 8 million in cap space plus the increases to the upper limit. So, and between all the guys that we're going to be extending with what we have currently locked up, I think we can afford the higher end. Let me just see how this salary increases. So 5 there, 4-ish, 3-ish, 2-ish, 2-ish. So then it's basically all the same way, or same amount through. So we'll try the 0.85 again, because it worked with our extensions before, so we'll cross our fingers it works this time too. So 3 million times 0.85 is 2.55. And so the reason why I'm doing this is for guys like this. So he has, all things considered, decent trade value. He's 24. He's elite, and he's at 81 already. So based on all those factors, if you were to go and get a different guy, they typically are asking for something like 5 to 8 million. So even though this is more than we want to spend on a goalie, it's still close enough within range. It's probably maybe $250,000 off from what our new maximum would be given like inflation of contracts and stuff. But yeah, given all the stuff I've already discussed, I think it's a good idea. And then even if he asks for more, as long as it's under 3 million, I think it's still reasonable, given again everything. Yeah, so let's do that. So then that locks up one goalie plus the other goalie. So we got two goalies locked up long term. Because this guy I think has 7 years left. 6 years. And then basically I'm counting on the fact that after these 2 years for Mikanov, he's going to ask for some stupid contract. So we'll know next offseason. But it's like if you're a franchise goalie, it's basically certain that you're going to be asking for 10 million or something stupid, and we're not spending that on a goalie. So we have our two, at the very least, long-term goalies. That being said, so because of what we had so we're rotating three goalies. That other guy that we just looked at, he's going to be coming up into this group. What we did last season, we turned out having four. So we could go and look and see what's out there for a fourth goalie. If there's anything that's good and affordable, then that sets us up for when Mikanov leaves. We'll have the three goalie rotation. Hopefully, it would be all locked up long term, and then we basically have our goaltending set for 6 to 8 years ish, assuming nobody plays poorly or whatever. So, or overly poorly. And this guy was stellar for us in the playoffs and everything. Regular season was pretty poor in the AHL, with us at least. And the playoffs was stellar for both AHL and us. So anyways, let's go have a look. Oh yeah, so 10 minus essentially 2 million leaves us 8 million we can spend. So we've got all these other guys still out there that we can consider. There's actually a couple guys at reasonable cap hits. I think we have, let me go double check this. I'm pretty sure it's 9 players plus what's his face as a backup. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 plus Demers as a backup, 10. And I don't know if Trevica has to be pulled up. I think he can go down to junior one more year. But we might technically have 11. In which case, somebody would be expendable, actually. But we'll figure that out later. I think he can go back to junior if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so if we could pick up one guy, but it's not actually critical. So the goaltending thing, that idea actually has priority. Because to have an 11th forward, I mean, it would be great, but that's more of a luxury. We don't actually need it. Whereas the goalie thing, at least in the future, is going to be pretty important. So we'll check that. So we want goalies. So first we'll look here. If there's anything. So under 3 million. So he's at 3 million. He's not bad. But if we're going to spend that, they need to be elite, not starter. So that's reasonable, but not what we're looking for. He's good. Oh, but he's 32. Hämäläinen. Did we ever trade for that guy? Poise of 7, he's a bit low. What's our goalie's poise? 78. Man, that's good for him. 70, not that great. And then 70. It's also not great. So 70, I guess, if we already have it, that would be acceptable. Okay. So he's 24. Good. Up and down kind of track record for stats. Hey, this is one of the guys we had before. He played well after we traded him. It's 23. Poise is 72, so that's an improvement. It would be annoying if we go and trade for him again and then he turns out asking for something stupid, because I think it was, once again, this guy was asking for like 4 million. Well, you know what? We might be able to figure that out by trying and seeing what he does here. Yeah, so he's the same basically as, well, not even really. He is cheaper than the other guy we just signed. Starter 81 overall versus the 80 overall that we have for the other guy. So this is technically an improvement on the other goalie that we already have. And I don't know for sure, but maybe he wouldn't have to go through, like, he wouldn't be claimable for waivers. So we could have some flexibility to put him up. And yeah, with the ages of the guys we have, we might be able to do it with more than, we might be able to do it with almost all of them, or all of them. So that's a thought. So I like the idea of going back for this guy. Just hopefully it doesn't turn out where we pick him up and then all of a sudden, just with us, he doesn't want to negotiate a good contract, because that would be very stupid. But anyways, so this guy's elite. Yeah, but some of his stats are bad. Okay. So Ness from Winnipeg it was. So we will go get him. Goalies, Ness. Thankfully he's not too expensive to pick up. Oh, Gosselin, I thought his trade value was higher, but whatever. It's not that important. So a 6th rounder. Let's do a 6th and a 4th for Ness, and a 3rd. Okay, so then Ness for a 6. That's great. Pretty cheap. Actually, let's do the contract and then save. Whoops. Does he have the same expectations? Yes, thankfully. Okay, so 0.85 times 2.225. 2.225 times 0.85 is 1.89. 1.9. So I guess maybe, obviously this is just because it's a video game, it can't be true, but maybe he learned his lesson from asking for too much and then getting traded away. Okay, save. And I'm supposed to have ended the stream by now, but we'll wait. I'll keep going for a bit. Where were we at? For 2 ways. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I think I already did it. So we'll go 3 more days forward. So we'll go 6 more days forward and end it there, wherever we're at. Now, we know that he's going to eat up another million. The other guy's going to eat up ballpark 2. So that is 3 million, meaning we have 7 million we can spend if we choose to. Is there anything at 7 million we would like? So if this guy was at 7 million, we would definitely like that. However, I doubt he would go for it. Should I offer? No, I don't think it's even worth trying. Chubasov, no. Eklund, no. Oh, and we had this situation about defense, so we could go back and pick up the same guy, or pick up another guy that's 7 million. I think I like that idea more than getting another forward. Let's just look anyways, but I'm pretty certain there's nobody else out there that we want to pick up. I mean, if somebody stands out like crazy, then sure, but pretty sure nobody. playmaker. Yeah, because they're already like they're an RFA, so I just don't think it's worth it. Nah, I don't think so. So, let's go and check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 D. So we need another defenseman. And that means we could afford like up to 7 million in a trade. The guy, let's just double check about free agents. I think it's unlikely that there's any that we wanted because I think I already looked, but let's just double check. Gunderson, we've had, and he did okay, I think. No, he barely played. It was all AHL. And then in the NHL, he's been good production, but poor plus minus. It's 27 two-way. 82 overall. 6.65 is very reasonable. And then we don't have to trade for anything. So that's a very strong consideration. So far, I actually think that's the right call. This guy we could do. His strength is too low, though. More affordable, but eh. Luma. Endurance, no good. Balance, no good. Balance, no good. Too old. Too low. So, why not? Can we get a lower cap hit? We can for shorter term. He wants 6. If we offer him exactly what he's looking for, would he want to go with us? Got 10 million in cap space. 3 million we're gonna lose. I don't even know if we have enough space to have him. Because I don't know if this 10 million is factoring in our depth players. Let's see if it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 forwards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 D, 2 goalies. Then minus another million for a third goalie. So that's about 9 million in cap space. 9 million minus, well, that doesn't come into effect until next year. So really it's only 2 million. 7 million means we can afford them, probably. I don't know for certain. If my math is wrong, then we'll have to do a trade somewhere somehow, but it's worth a shot. Can we offer more? So 10 million minus 1 is 9 million minus 2 is 7 million. So we can go up to 7 million approximately. Let's leave 250. Space. I don't know, because like I would actually have to do the math to figure this out, but it'll be close. He's going to get back to us right away. So we'll see. I mean, if he wants to go to us with at that salary versus wanting to go somewhere else where he might get paid more, I don't know. I guess we'll see now. Nope. So at the very least, we could actually, I don't know what he signed for, but we could even trade for him. And because we were going to potentially trade for somebody anyway, so it's not a loss to not have gotten him. So that's 1, 2, 3 days. Of course, yeah, it depends on what he signed for, that is. 2 contracts offered to who? Oh, yeah, those don't count because they're guys we already. Oh, 1 counts. So we have 4 spaces left at the moment. Cole is on the list. Wrong guy. He's 25. That balance. If he's 25, how's his performance been? I don't know how to. I don't have anybody to contrast it with because I don't know how old the rest of them were. 25. Oh shoot, did I almost missed out on this guy. He's not asking for a crazy contract. Yikes, I could have missed him. Tarasov too? Yeah, but I'll remove him from the list. Maybe I should have been paying more attention. Too late now. Cool. I guess contrasting with Locke, 23. I think we won't go for Cole, actually. Beaulieu. Beaufait, I feel like those names ringing a bell. I guess not. Bella, no. Maybe that's the other thing I should be looking at is teams interested. The salary and teams interested. Tikhonov. He was on the list too, but he's 26. He's not perfect, so we'll take him off the list. Perez Hogan. Same thing, not perfect. What's his performance like? Now we'll erase him too. $25. He's close enough. Another guy will erase. Wasn't Green the guy we had? Yeah, but he's 29. Fits, no. Yeah, so my strategy of looking at the salary expected, that didn't work. I missed guys. So I'm gonna have to just look at who's been offered stuff, see if they're on the list, and then offer them when other people do, I guess. Harvey, is he there? Guess not. I thought rang a bell. that was quick. Sweet. Sweet. So he also took the contract. So let's see the impact on our cap space. So now, oh, it's only had a tiny, tiny impact. So 0.4. Oh, and I forgot to, after I sign the new guys, I can put these down again. Again, I don't know if it has any impact, but just to be sure. So that was 1 day forward. Did I already save? To 3 days forward. That's an easier way to do it, I guess. So we got Locke. We got one more offer, so that means we have 3 spots left. Ryan S is on our list. It's not quite there. But close enough. Oh yeah, we just signed Locke, so I can erase him. Buyer. I think that's it for guys. Sweet. Ellison. No. Rock. No. He's 28. But he's perfect. All too bad for you then. He was a guy. Okay, so for defense we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we've got everybody. But there's a bunch of other guys out there. Okay, so what I'll do is just scan through and see, because I'm just interested if I missed anybody that I wanted to have signed. So Wiseman, Marshall for 79. Wiseman's still there. Is he? I guess a different Wiseman. Marshall's not there, so he must have been signed. Wonder if I missed him. Valachevich, Forsberg, Boychuk. There's Boychuk. Forsberg. And I can't see that Valachevich guy. Oh, he still doesn't want two-way. Okay, well, anyways, that's where we'll leave it. I'll save a duplicate too. So, yeah, we'll continue the rest of the depth signings next stream. Then we should be done that by the end of next stream, and also probably setting up for the next season, I'm assuming. But yeah, that's it. If you like the stream, hit the like button, share with your friends, subscribe, turn on notifications. The channel homepage has upcoming streams on regular NHL content. That's going to be Friday, covering the 2 weeks prior of NHL news. For franchise mode and Be a Pro, those schedules are temporary and in the About section of the channel. You can have a look at those times there. And again, I could be up to an hour late and potentially 30 minutes early for those times, so just keep that in mind. Any comments, leave them in the comments, suggestions likewise. And thanks again for Hampy, or Hamp, however it's pronounced, for his comment there. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, bye.